All right, so here's one right here. I don't think I ever really touched on like that, if at all, which is the illegal screen. The illegal screen, and I see this a lot more frequently in 2K24 than any other 2K. Like the illegal screen call, it's just like they lay it on thick. Sometimes you would go 2 or 3 plays in a row trying to set a pick and roll, and you will get an illegal screen every single time. Sometimes they'll lay it on that thick if they're trying to catch you up in fouls, or if you're, let's say, if you're abusing. That's another thing that 2K is real good at. If you are abusing something and you're busting computer's ass, they will start to like a countermeasure. They have countermeasures in place to prevent you from just totally washing computer the fuck off the court, right? So now right here, um, Kawhi Leonard gets a screen. Now I already noticed that they call a lot of bogus screens, or they cause your teammates, or they call a lot of bogus illegal screens, but they call by causing your teammate to move while they're screening. So now right here, this is the most blatant. This is the most blatant form of that I've seen, which is why I'm finally making a video about this problem, right? So right here you see Kawhi Leonard, he steps in. Now when I call the screen, typically computer, you call the screen, they come and step in right here, right? Like they get close enough to where the screen is legit. And I probably should not have moved. It's just after a while, certain things become muscle memory. After you do it so many times, it's like boom, this gonna be right here, this gonna be right there. And then when they throw a monkey wrench in your shit, it throws you totally off. So now, typically, once again, he would screen sitting right there. For whatever reason, he gets so far away, I have no idea. It just made no sense. But now, what he does as he starts to move in, he gives him like a hardcore boom, like a hardcore shoulder check. This was this was not necessary at all, but it's 2K's. It's their way of putting in a countermeasure, because you could just use the pick and fade and destroy the shit out of the computer all day long. Just like you could abuse the alley oop all day long. So sometimes you might throw an alley oop, it may be perfectly timed, everything is right, and they'll cause you to damn near throw the ball out the stadium. It's like a countermeasure. I covered one of the countermeasures. I hated the most, like the worst one. It was especially in 2K22. I don't know if it was that bad in 23 like that, because I didn't really use a post player in that one or this one. But if you had like a post player, boom, look at that shoulder check. But if you had like a dominant post player, especially if they're good in the post, in the high post, not in the deep post in the paint, but like in the mid range, what they would start to do, they would have to double team you, because you're gonna get a bucket on them every single time, especially if it's a smaller player like the guy I had. He was like 7'1", just 99, 99, 99 all throughout the post, right? So what they would do, they would have to double team you. But the problem with that is that every time they would double team you, it would leave a man wide open at the three. Now I'm talking about countermeasures in 2K. They would have to leave a man wide open at the three damn near every single time. Like 98% of the time, it would be somebody wide open at the three. So that's where the double team would come from. So now what do? Obviously, you don't want to shoot, or you don't want to do anything like that, because you got a double team on you unless you're going to spin out of it. So what they would do is they would do this thing where once the double team is coming, they would not allow for you to pass the ball, or it's like a window of time. Once the game registers that the double team is locking in, they won't allow for you to pass the ball. They won't allow for you to spin out the post. They won't allow for you to go for a fade. They will lock you into an animation. And I might even, if I could find a video where I covered that, I might link it in the description just so you can see what I'm talking about. But they will lock you into this animation where you cannot move or do anything, and then next thing you know, your man goes stumbling, fumbling, bumbling, losing the ball. He splits between the two defenders like he's falling all over the place. Even though you tried to pass it way ahead of time, you tried to shoot it, you tried to spin out of the post, but it was a countermeasure, because what I would do, I would just torture them out of the post. Because anytime the double team was coming, I'm passing it, or I'm getting, or I'm gonna spin out of it and get to the rim, get to the rack, or I'm gonna pass it and get a wide open 3 buckets every time, right? So they understand, whoever is in charge of programming that element of the game, where it's scripting or is using the algorithm, or the game balancing dynamic, or the dynamic game balancing. They understand where the flaws are in computers' ability to play you, right? So they bake in a lot of counterbalances, a lot of countermeasurements, in order to prevent you from just strictly abusing them in every way possible, right? And this is one of them right here with the pick and roll. You could abuse it, or the pick and fade. You will start to call it. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 times in a row you get an illegal screen, because they're trying to put a clamp on your ability to just constantly do that to someone, right? Even though computers should be able to figure out how to adjust and do something about it, the game doesn't. They're too lazy or don't really know how to go about doing that. So what they do is they bake shit like this into the algorithm, where your man is forced to put an illegal pick on someone, right? And that basically just disrupts everything, right? But that'll do it for this video. Peace.